Right, this is my humidity controlled box. High humidity in Japan all year round. So if you're a fan of antique cameras or vintage cameras, vintage watches, you need something like this to keep them in. If you want to use them if you want to keep them in top condition for decades. I don't like touching them in summer with because your hands get all sweaty. So I'll put on these gloves. These are for I think these are for Japanese size hands. They're kind of small. But here, my humidity here is what percent? About 40% in there. Normally it's about 70-80% in summer, sometimes 90. So in here there are all sorts of goodies, vintage cameras mainly. Okay, we'll take out a tray of things.
Yeah.
We'll just take a tray of things out. Mid-century watches. The very first digital watch. That's quite nifty. Omega Constellation. Space age. So this would have been about 1970, not long after 1970. Omega. Very cool indeed. This is Omega Seamaster 300. The 1960s. I've actually, that thing is broken, but it looks like that. Automatic, waterproof to 300 feet. Chronometer. It was the best diving watch in the 1960s. This is Grand Seiko, the Japanese chronometer from the 1960s, early model, very accurate, very accurate. And the brand is still alive today. There is still Grand Seiko. But this is not even automatic, this is wind up. It's a wind up chronometer.
Okay.
Something more radical is a RAD, very space age, with the diamond cut glass. Let's see the set flashing like that. So this is almost psychedelic. This look. Yeah, how's that for cool? RAD.
Don't show it to me.
This part around here is actually, I think it's tungsten. It's bulletproof, scratch proof. And the glass is sapphire glass. So not only did it look good, but it's scratch resistant. A Rado, it's a Rado. R-A-D-O, Rado.
Okay.
But these mid-century watches are all sealed. I mean, that's, of course, a Davis watches. Of course, it's perfectly it's sealed. But the earlier you go, there's nothing sealed, not waterproof at all. So that's why you need to keep them in a special dust-proof, humidity-controlled box. Early pocket watch. I had this overhauled. Now it runs perfectly. Runs perfectly, but I never use it.
Show me the back side. Okay.
Camera from 1980. It was my favorite camera when I was about 20. Olympus OM1. Very smooth, very professional. About as good as it got with film cameras, manual film cameras, that is. You have to adjust everything before you take a picture. So not very good for sudden action pictures, unless you're all set up already. But very heavy. Things at this time were solidly built. There's very little plastic, almost no plastic. All aluminium. Very nice. And it's still got some film. And my light meter. They have you can get this in your phone now. It's a piece of software for measuring the light and what your settings on this should be according to what the film is. But in the old days, you had to measure it, set your dials, see what your aperture and your speed would be, set your aperture and speed, fiddle with the focus, and then about 5 minutes later, you're ready to take a picture. Another interesting camera. This is a panorama camera, which takes two pictures side by side on a 35 millimeter film. So it's twice the width of a normal picture. And the way they do it is the lens actually swings like that. That is also the speed. The speed at which that goes sets the camera speed. And on the back here, the film winds around a curve. So there's little distortion on the edges of the picture. It has to be absolutely horizontal when you take it, otherwise it looks curvy. And so it comes with a spirit level. See the spirit level? So when if you're setting this up on a tripod, you set this up on a tripod and have it absolutely in the middle, like about there, and then you press the shutter. It's called a Widelux. Pretty cool indeed.
Yeah.
More interesting gadgets from days gone by. This is a vacuum tube television. So before liquid crystal screens, the only way to do it was just like a conventional.
A lens.
Yes, you've got a lens to magnify the screen. But so what's that? A 1-inch screen? And I can't find the adapter, but it does work. And with an adapter, you could put a picture on that screen. For tuning, manual tuning.
Wow.
This was really cool in 1980 because, TVs were so big and this is as small as they could get. Today you fit that in your watch, something that thin. But in 1980 you needed all this depth, crammed full of electronics, just to make that work. Still, I like it. It's very cool.